Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video I am sharing my process, experiences, and relationship with the word woman. This being specifically for International Women's Day. I woke up this morning to a post shared by a woman of and for me to express her gratitude for my particular support and assistance and work that I do. And for her, she wanted to honor me as the woman that I am for her in her life. And that overwhelmed me this morning, because I have never really so much thought of myself in that that context, that meaning, that value or worth for another woman. Meaning, for me, my experience is when I see people, and this is men and women, I acknowledge the fact, okay, yes, you're male and female, but more importantly, there's always something more I see within and beyond that, the person that you are. And what I mean by the person is the way you communicate, the way you express yourself through your body language, the way you think, the way you view things, the way you look at things, your weaknesses, your strengths. So essentially, kind of you in a nutshell is what I like seeing and interacting with. Whenever I'm with people, I thoroughly enjoy connecting, communicating, getting to know people. So what was significant about this post was that particular specific line of context of the meaning and worth and value that me as a woman has been for another woman. But then I asked myself, okay, but what does that mean? What is this concept, this definition, this expression of woman? And it is, interestingly enough, something that, I can understand this post and the sharing from this woman's perspective. That's also what it was quite interesting whenever anyone shares something or says thank you or expresses gratitude, I see more deeply into that particular person. So from that particular person's context, I can truly, genuinely see the meaning, worth, and value of the relationship of woman, because of with me being a woman. And, even there, my mind goes, I think, me being a woman, in many terms and definitions of a woman, I can understand some of the difficulties and challenges that comes with being a woman. So, in that woman relationship and support, I grasp that. But there's still so many aspects and dimensions inside myself that struggle with this word. And to be honest, I sometimes wonder if it's the same for men. Do you sometimes look at the word man and feel odd about it or weird, like you don't really fit into it or it fits into you? So this could be, not so much really only for women, but also for men. Just have a look at saying the word man. I am a man. I am a woman. Like I feel it, but there's still something that feels, incomplete, missing, not whole. There's more like not emotional, but these movements and reactions of discomfort or uncomfortability coming up inside of me. So, my process with the word woman is, for me, I've decided to take it day by day. I have walked a period in my life of comparing myself to other women. And here was what I believed women to be, only women to be, like the real ladylike, feminine, And the makeup, the perfect blown out hair, the dresses, and high heels, walking very elegantly and swiftly and ethereal like. So that was my understanding of what it meant to be a woman. You've become a woman. You're now a mature, feminine individual. Your femininity is expressing from within you. And I really struggled for a very long time to represent that, to fulfill that. And it wasn't so much, I had an exceptional amount of external influence in relation to that, but this was also in my younger years. I mean, this teenage years I'm speaking about here. Until, eventually I was fighting with that idea or ideal for so long that I had to realize, okay, I've got to give up on this because it's not going to happen. I'm not only that. I've got aspects of it, meaning when I go on a date, sometimes when I feel like, even on the day on the farm, I feel like dressing up and putting on a dress, putting on some makeup, putting on something nice, and just expressing just more that it's like a form of grace. And for lack of a better word, that femininity comes through. And then I'll do my nails and I'll do some care and TLC and things like that. But, the main point within it, it's also that, all of that shouldn't just be boxed into being about femininity or being a woman or being graceful. Like, doing your nails, dressing up. So, I'm also speaking here kind of in real time because it also shows you that thinking process that we as women may go through. For me, I grew up as a tomboy through and through. I mean, I grew up I remember in a neighborhood, and our neighbor was a boy. And at the time, my brother, who was born 2 years younger than me, so it was only him and I, but he was still a baby. So here I was in the streets running around with motorbikes and guns and mud, refusing to wear a shirt, as a kid, because this boy's not wearing a shirt. Why must I wear a shirt? So my parents struggled quite a bit to get their girl into a dress. And eventually, when I think I was about 14, this very boy's parents actually saw my parents and me after many years. And they looked at me in absolute surprise, asking my parents, how on earth did you manage to make a girl out of her? That's how tomboy I was. And still then, I've always more related to a tomboyish feel, so not absolutely feminine, not absolutely tomboyish, so kind of a in between. And I can be either tomboyish or feminine, go either or. And, eventually, after many different phases and times throughout my life, but there's still, to be honest, I find sometimes a pull inside myself toward women who I feel are very feminine. They've got this, the silky, elegant skin, the hair, the naturalness, almost angelic, ethereal-like, graceful, soft expression about them. This, and I sometimes find myself comparing myself to that, feeling like I'm hard and very harsh and tomboyish and more of a masculinity within me. And that was one of my major struggles as a woman in my life, that feeling, that experience, that conflict inside of me. And every now and then, as I said, it still comes up and I recognize it. But I've come to realize what that kind of a slight inner conflict was all about. And this is, again, interestingly enough, something I emphasize in many of my courses that I do when it comes to comparison. What if there is no one singular definition of woman, for example, but each and every single one of us as a woman, those who would say they're a woman or a female, that in each and every single one of us, we have our unique way, our very unique way of expressing our woman. So the main point throughout all my stories and experiences and moments throughout my life was realizing this. What does it mean to be my woman? The woman that I am here within me. How did this word, this expression, this experience come alive inside of me, Sunette, as the person that I am? How would I describe me? So this I will continue with in the next video, just to support the many women out there who might still feel, the many women and men, you can do this as well, who may still have that conflict inside of you with this word. Let's once and for all put that conflict to rest, and rather on International Women's Day, make it a day of remembrance of us redefining that word for ourselves, and not becoming anything more or less than it should be, a simple part of ourselves in this world. Thank you very much.